Hey guys, what's going on? This is Scott here at the Fergus channel, just coming at you with another video. And as usual, today we are doing an unboxing of an action figure, and we're going along with DC Multiverse. This one is Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Sorry about that. And as we all know, McFarlane has released quite a few of these. Well, quite a few, we'll say. Release wise, we've had the original one, the armored up one, and then we had two other ones, I think. I don't remember. I've got a few of them, so I figure we'll go ahead and check out this most recent one, and we'll kind of compare it to the only ones that I have, just to see what kind of differences there are, which I don't think there is. I think a lot of these are just repaints and just with a few little tweaks, so it's pretty much the same figure. But anyways, before we get into the action figure, I pulled up some notes here. Sorry, I'm going to be looking down here for a second. All right, so we are doing The Dark Knight Returns. Now, this, out of all the Batman incarnations, or whatever you want to call it, that there are, this is probably one of my most favorite, and like my most favorite look. That's why, like, whenever the whole Batman versus Superman thing came out, I was pretty excited because I knew it was going to be kind of a mesh of a lot of the stuff from the Dark Knight, and almost kind of like I think they kind of messed it up a little bit by throwing in the whole Death of Superman thing like way too early. They were just trying to rush into everything, I guess. I don't know what their mindset was behind it, but as we know, Frank Miller is the one that he actually drew and wrote The Dark Knight Returns. It was in 1986, and I was kind of reading a little bit this earlier. I've never had the actual issues back, The Dark Knight Returns, because they got pretty expensive pretty quick in my time. They came out in 86. I don't ever remember seeing them on the shelves. Usually when I bought comic books, it was Mom taking me to like an old bookstore, or around the time of Hastings. I would always get comic books at, I think it was Hastings. It was a video store. Back then they had huge magazine section and a big comic section in Hastings stores in Arkansas. And then along the line we had the comic book store. But anyways, I never saw those issues on the shelf. I might have missed that timeline, so I never actually got to have the books. But I did eventually get to watch the animated movie that they did, the two-parter. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to the comic books themselves, which it would be nice to have those. I'm sure I probably could get a trade paperback at some point. It's just never been something I ever did. But still, after watching that and just all the information that you get through YouTube, watching other people talk about it, it was just really one of my favorite. You know, we have that, and then the Nightfall series of that. And then on down the line, we had the New 52 Batman, which was really good. I would really like to go back and repurchase all that too, but I think I just go to the trade paperbacks instead of trying to get all those issues, because it was a pain in the butt to get all of them anyways. But what I thought was really funny, thinking back that this was in 86, Bruce Wayne is 55 and has retired as Batman for roughly a decade. So in this, he retired at 45 as Batman. And reading that, I'm like, man, he's kind of young. He's like, screw it, I'm done. Then 10 years later at 55, which there's 55-year-olds that are pretty safe. But obviously Batman got the full beat out of him and all that kind of stuff there. I don't have my tablet anymore either, so I have to use this little backup phone to pull up any information so that I don't sound like a complete fool. Anything else is kind of interesting, which I have said before. See if we can find it. Why it's so important, this book itself on Batman. Miller's book helped redefine Batman as a dark, psychological, complicated, aging superhero. It also influenced the visual style and tone of later Batman adaptations. I can't speak. And particularly Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and the Batman portrayal in The Batman. So it is more influential than just the movie. I mean, it really changed the Batman character itself after that. So, but I don't know where I was going with that. I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was like 55 is when he came back, and 45 he retired. He gave up kind of quick. So, but anyways, let's get the box out and check out the old action figure. All right, guys, and here we are with old Batman here, and I love the artwork on the back of the box. McFarlane's been kind of killing it with a lot of the artwork that they've been putting on the back. I didn't really care for that Poison Ivy artwork. It didn't really match the classic, supposed classic Poison Ivy theme they had going on there. But it does just say Batman, The Dark Knight Returns on the side there. And then this is kind of all the same stuff that we got with the original release. Back, I don't remember how far back it was, but got the rope with the batarang, the 2 pairs of hands, and the little DC stand. But of course, the biggest difference with this one is the emblem on his chest, and then of course the cloth cape. So I thought that looked really cool. It's one of those deals where they kind of kept doing them and tweaking just the tiny bit, and it's kind of like, why can't we just do this to the first one? But obviously they want to make more money, so they know that the look that you want, you're going to get when it comes out. And it's almost like they could keep releasing, like almost there, almost. And here you go. 1, 2, 3. It's like, how long do you wait and take the chance that they don't ever, I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, it's just kind of crazy how they kind of dupe you into it like that. I mean, they've got it down to a science, man. I'm telling you, with Superman, boy, they really bled us dry on that one, because they kept releasing one, and it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of close. That's that's way different than that. Ooh, that face sculpt is awful. But you know, Superman. I didn't pick that one up. That 2-pack one with a messed up face, and the Ultraman and Superman 2-pack. Oh, that face was awful. I don't know if I've ever shown that one before, but I was like, I will never buy that. That is just horrendous looking face sculpt. So never got that one. But anyways, enough complaining. These Dark Knight figures, the face sculpts on these, I love these. So let's pop it open and check it out. All right, guys, and here we are. We got Batman out of the box, and that plastic, that fresh chemical plastic, we got that came with the original release that we got in the past, and the card and the 2 pairs of hands. And let's see, the card looks like it's got quite a bit of info on it. Might have been something we kind of already looked at on my old phone over there. It is 10 years after the aging Batman has retired and Gotham City has sunk in to decadence and lawlessness. Now, as the city needs him most, the Dark Knight returns in a blaze of glory, joined by Carrie Kelly, a teenage female Robin. Batman takes to the streets to end the threat of the mutant gangs that have overrun the city, and after facing off against the 2 greatest enemies, the Joker and Two-Face, for the final time, Batman finds himself in mortal combat with his former ally Superman, in battle that only one of them will survive. That's kind of interesting, because like I said before, I never actually got to get the comic book because it was kind of before my time a little bit. Well, 86. I guess I was kind of dabbling, but I was really young. So that's probably, one of those kind of out of my league. And by the time I was really into comic books, the prices on those were already pretty high, and you just didn't really see them out in the wild that much. And back then we didn't have eBay and all that stuff, so you know how the story goes. So by the time I'm a teenage adult, or whatever you want to call it, they were way more expensive than what I wanted to spend. So, but that being said, that card's got the cool artwork that was on the back of the box, and then the figure itself, let's check it out. It is pretty much a whole reuse from what I can see, except for the cape. The head sculpt's the same. I'm wondering if like this cowl connection piece here is a little bit different because of the cape. And then of course we have the new Batman emblem like right there on the chest. We have the belt, which I think it's a little bit of a lighter yellow. The coloring on this one is a lot brighter, I guess you would say, with the grays and the blues. The cape is wired, and it's almost like that. It's like the material that they used originally on that '66 Batman, and but it seems a little thinner almost. I don't know if I'm tripping or it's like a thinner material, maybe a little bit, getting a little cheaper maybe. But the cape does look pretty good on it. The bottom there doesn't have any wire running through that. It's just on the sides there, which that works pretty well to get it into almost like he's standing there and the wind's blowing. And your typical wire business. He's got the ball at the abdominal and then the ab down there. We're on the ball with the waist twist. And different, I just noticed this, I don't know why, as many of these as I've opened. He actually has a twist at his thigh, which is kind of unusual for McFarlane. I don't think I've ever noticed that. And then we got the toe bends, of course, and the sculpting on the boots, and the sculpting on the belt there looks really good. So, and I do really like the new Batman emblem that he put on there that looks more, I guess, kind of like the comic book. And which is weird is, I guess this is a reuse because it's got the hole in the back there. I'm wondering if that's where the old cape went or something. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's got a big hole in the back. It's almost like you could use kind of a stand for him to get him in a jumping pose to where we're not going to get that pose that's on in the comic book card that they did there, because the legs are kind of bulky, but they are double jointed, all pinned and all that kind of good stuff. So that being said, still pretty good looking figure though. My favorite Batman version. Well, it's hard to say my favorite because like once Nightfall came along and the artwork that they did on Batman then, you know, a slimmer build Batman, which we're all kind of more used to. But his stand works really good there. Of course, this is a bulkier figure with bigger feet, so he's going to stand pretty good. He's got the kind of the pose in hand like that, two fists, and kind of a almost grippy hand. And then the two hands that come on him are just kind of the hands to hold like the rope that he comes with, which isn't a whole lot. So, but that's kind of it, guys. All of a sudden got the sneezes there too. So let's pull out these other ones we have and kind of see the difference there a little bit, or if there's any difference at all. So is this one the best one to pick up? If you haven't picked up any of these, we're about to find out. All right, guys, and here we are. We have our other releases. I had a thought earlier, and I totally lost it, but I was thinking when I read the back of the card, they were talking about Two-Face, and in the comic book, I guess maybe the comic book covered a little more. It was a 4-part series there, but I don't remember Two-Face being in the animated movie, so it's been a while since I watched it. I'll probably have to rewatch it, or you guys can comment down below how much of a difference was the comic book compared to the animated movie. Just let me know down below. But as we can see here, this was the first release that McFarlane did, which when it came out, I mean, it looks good. It's got the plastic cape like he was doing with all of his figures, which I never was very big on that. And just the look of this cape, just, I don't know, I wasn't too impressed. The head sculpt on this one is pretty much the same one that they've been using, except this one's kind of got the gritty face. And then this one is just the stern face. It didn't come with an extra head. So this one just came with exactly what this one came with, our original release there, as you can see there. And then this one was they had two different versions of this release, and this one has more of the colors that are a little more matching what we did almost with this one, but with the same chest piece. And this one has the damage. I know in the animated one it was the damage when he was fighting the mutants. But this one has a little bit of a different head sculpt with the face. And this one came with a maskless face. And this one has pretty much the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Except this one came with the batarangs in his hand there. So this one was a good release. And then they had another one, I think, that they released that was the colors of this. It was like a darker color, obviously. I think it was that exactly. But this one I was really excited to get. The price on this one, I remember I got this at the comic book store. And they had these two versions, the darker one, which is like the chase one. It was like $50 or $48 or something. And this one was the usual $32 or whatever it was. And I eventually broke down and picked it up just because I like the colors on that one and the damage. So colors are pretty close there. So, But then we had the battle armor one, which we know he fights Superman in that one, so huge difference. Head sculpt wise, though, obviously a little bit different because of the armor and that kind of stuff. And with the battle armor one, I always kind of like the texture of the cape on that one. It actually kind of looks like the texture of the cape that Batman had in that Batman versus Superman movie. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Kind of my favorite version out of these so far, though. It's a tough one because the cloth cape, okay, I don't know, this one is okay. I'm having a hard time now. Color wise, though, I think I like this color a little more, the little darker, and I think the emblem would look cool like on that one, and then of course with the cloth cape. So, and then this one also has the extra head without the cowl. So if the colors were just a little bit closer, I'm wondering, well, I guess we could use the one without the cowl on this head. Are they the same size? Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. You could probably mix match, but hands and stuff obviously are not going to be mix match because the colors are way off. So, but other than that, pretty cool. I do have the Superman from this line, which he never really did another release of the Dark Knight Returns Superman. He just not going to want to stand up. So we still have that same cape one, and then I had the Robin, and I never got the Joker. I think that was all there was Batman, Robin. So yeah, it was a four-piece deal, and when I did get Superman, it was a loose one, so I didn't get all the horse pieces and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's kind of it, guys. If you could like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll check you on the flip side. Later.